Hello everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel Mazz Reporter. Here's a quick roundup of today's top trending news for January 21st, 2026, as the day unfolds across time zones. Top trending news today from UK and European region. Trump's provocations hit UK and Europe ahead of Davos. U.S. President Donald Trump has sparked tension with both the UK and France by making provocative remarks about Greenland's sovereignty just before key international talks in Davos. Danish officials rejected Trump's comments, underscoring friction between Washington and European capitals. UK political commentator calls for renewed Europe focus. Labour MP Stella Creasy argues that Britain should strengthen ties with Europe and rapidly build new alliances, while also boosting its own military capability amid global uncertainty, highlighting ongoing debate on UK foreign policy direction. Trump doubles down on Greenland plan. Donald Trump insists that Europe will find out how far he intends to pursue a controversial plan to acquire Greenland, drawing strong responses from European leaders and adding to diplomatic friction. UK approves China's mega embassy in London. The UK government has approved a controversial plan for China to build its largest embassy in Europe, situated in central London. While officials say security reviews are complete, critics warn it poses potential espionage and security risks. A$AP Rocky announces major UK and Europe tour dates. In entertainment news, international artist A$AP Rocky has revealed his 2026 Don't Be Dumb World Tour will include multiple shows across the UK and Europe, generating buzz among music fans. Top trending news today from the region of the Americas. U.S. oil policy faces rising strain. President Donald Trump's pro-oil industry strategy is creating growing tensions within the American energy sector. While the policy has bolstered U.S. crude production projected to reach record levels and propel the U.S. back into global energy dominance, critics say conflicting goals, cheap fuel for consumers versus higher prices for producers, are creating contradictions in the broader energy market. Tough new U.S. visa rules take effect. The U.S. has suspended immigrant visa processing for citizens of 75 countries, including many in Latin America and the Caribbean, starting January 21, 2026. This move, part of tighter immigration controls by the administration, affects new applicants and complicates travel and relocation plans for thousands of families and workers throughout the hemisphere. Canada begins preparations for hypothetical U.S. threat. In a rare twist, Canada's military planners have developed a conceptual defense strategy preparing for a hypothetical attack from the United States. Although considered highly unlikely, the framework reflects broader concerns about geopolitical unpredictability under shifting U.S. leadership and underscores a renewed emphasis on national security strategy in Ottawa. Nationwide walkouts mark Trump term anniversary. Across the United States, Free America walkouts took place on January 20th, the anniversary of President Trump's second inauguration, organized by civil rights and progressive groups. The protests drew hundreds of events from Texas to California and Washington, highlighting opposition to recent immigration measures, healthcare changes, and social policy disputes. Venezuela's post-Maduro era continues to evolve. In Venezuela, Acting President Delcy Rodriguez says the country has received $300 million from oil sales, following earlier agreements tied to U.S. policy after the capture and removal of Nicolas Maduro. Venezuela's oil strategy remains central to shifting power dynamics and economic policy in the region. Top trending news today from Western Pacific region. U.S. aircraft carrier departs Western Pacific amid global tensions. The U.S. Navy's aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln has been observed leaving the Western Pacific, transiting the South China Sea toward the Strait of Malacca, a major sea route connecting to the Indian Ocean. This movement comes amid heightened tensions involving Iran and the Middle East, and may reduce the number of U.S. carriers available in the Pacific region at a time when great power competition with China remains a key security focus. Asia-Pacific named world's top trending travel destination. According to a MasterCard Economics Institute travel report, the Asia-Pacific region leads the world in trending summer vacation spots for a second year running. Tokyo and Osaka in Japan top the list, while Vietnam's coastal city Nha Trang has emerged as an increasingly popular destination. This reflects strong tourism demand across the region as travelers prioritize experiences and cultural activities. WHO launches climate and health strategy for Western Pacific. The World Health Organization has unveiled its first comprehensive regional strategy on climate and health for the Western Pacific, launched during the WHO Regional Committee session in Seoul. The plan addresses urgent environmental health risks such as extreme heat, air pollution, and unsafe water, which together contribute to millions of preventable deaths each year in the region. Hypertension in Western Pacific poses big health challenge. New WHO data highlights that high blood pressure affects more than 1 in 4 adults in the Western Pacific region, with control rates low in many countries. With cardiovascular disease a leading killer, WHO emphasizes the need for expanded screening, accessible medication, and community-based care to prevent millions of premature deaths. Japan pushes rare earth exploration amid strategic shifts. Japan has launched a deep-sea expedition to explore rare earth mineral deposits near Minamotori Island in the Pacific. These critical minerals are essential for electronics, clean energy, and defense technologies, and the initiative aims to diversify supply away from heavy dependence on China amid broader economic competition in the region. Top trending news today from the Eastern Mediterranean region. Greece moves forward with territorial waters extension plans. Greece has reaffirmed its intention to extend its territorial waters, a move that could reshape maritime boundaries in the Eastern Mediterranean, despite long-standing objections from Turkey. Athens is proceeding with the plan as part of wider efforts to assert its maritime rights and marine security strategy. Greece, Israel, and Cyprus to step up joint military exercises. In a sign of deepening regional cooperation, Greece, Israel, and Cyprus have agreed to increase joint naval and air exercises. This enhanced defense collaboration comes in the context of shared security challenges and seeks to strengthen readiness against asymmetric and conventional threats across Eastern Mediterranean waters. Turkey signals firm stance on maritime security in the Eastern Mediterranean. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has issued a strong message asserting that Turkey will not tolerate provocations or perceived threats to its interests or those of Turkish Cypriots in the Eastern Mediterranean, underscoring ongoing tensions over maritime claims and regional security dynamics. Top trending news today from the African region. South Africa declares national disaster after severe flooding. South Africa has declared a national disaster following weeks of intense rains and catastrophic flooding that have claimed dozens of lives and caused widespread destruction. Provinces such as Limpopo and Mpumalanga were hit hardest, with homes, roads, bridges, and infrastructure badly damaged. Evacuations have been underway in areas including Kruger National Park, and rescue operations continue as communities work to recover. Uganda imposes internet blackout ahead of elections. In Uganda, authorities have imposed a nationwide internet shutdown ahead of the 2026 general election, seen by critics as an attempt to limit information flow and suppress dissent. The measure comes amid heightened political tensions around President Yoweri Museveni's bid for a 7th term, with opposition leaders denouncing the blackout as a crackdown on civil liberties. Top trending news today from the Southeast Asian region. Earthquake in northern Pakistan kills at least 1. A 5.8 magnitude earthquake struck northern Pakistan's mountainous region, killing at least 1 person and damaging homes, especially in the Hunza Valley. The quake triggered landslides and blocked key roads, prompting rescue efforts and damage assessments from authorities in Gilgit-Baltistan. Pakistan's defense exports gain global interest. Pakistan's defense industry is seeing a surge in interest from abroad for its combat-tested military equipment. including JF-17 fighter jets, drones, and missiles. Talks are reportedly underway with about 13 countries looking to buy Pakistani hardware, which has drawn attention since recent regional conflicts. U.S. farm trade deals could unlock new markets in Southeast Asia. New trade agreements between the United States and Malaysia and Cambodia are expected to significantly expand U.S. agricultural exports, with preferential access for products like rice, poultry, dairy, and ethanol. The deals aim to reduce tariffs and simplify export processes, boosting long-term trade ties. Flood death toll rises as teams step up rescue efforts. Authorities across Southeast Asia are intensifying rescue and recovery operations after days of extreme rainfall and flooding. Indonesia confirmed at least 174 deaths in Sumatra alone, while Thailand reported 145 deaths in its southern provinces. Millions have been affected as floodwaters inundated homes and infrastructure, with rescue teams using boats and aerial support to reach stranded residents. Indonesia attracts stronger industrial and manufacturing investment. Indonesia's manufacturing sector continues to show robust growth, attracting increased investment and driving higher value creation through industrial downstreaming. This strengthening reflects confidence in Southeast Asia's largest economy and supports broader regional economic momentum. Philippines pushes for ASEAN South China Sea Code of Conduct. As the current chair of ASEAN, the Philippines is advocating for progress toward an effective Code of Conduct in the South China Sea, a vital diplomatic effort aimed at reducing tensions and fostering cooperation among Southeast Asian nations and China in contested waters. Southeast Asia positioned for renewable energy growth. A new International Energy Agency (IEA) report highlights Southeast Asia's vast renewable resources, estimating up to 20 terawatts of untapped solar and wind potential, enough to meet the region's growing electricity demand, reduce fuel import risks, and advance emissions targets. Policymakers are urged to accelerate clean energy deployment with updated grid systems and supportive policies. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. We'll keep bringing you interesting and insightful updates on the stories that are shaping our world.